Arc Raiders has some news or update about their game. From their Discord, Mark says, Raiders, we noticed some discussions around loot or gear score matchmaking. While it is true that the team has previously evaluated loot/gear based as well as other types of matchmaking principles, right now the focus is on maintaining the split between solos and squads to keep those groups on an even playing field whenever possible. After launch, we will continue to monitor how things go. The team is determined to ensure that players have high quality rounds that are varied and interesting, but fair. So it's very interesting how Embark is handling Arc Raiders. It seems like they know the questions that they're going to get. They've already tested out various situations or scenarios, and then they have an answer for why they do what they do, and they stick to it. They said they don't want to have a battle royale on their hands, so the PvE in the game, the robots, the arcs, are stronger than in other games, whereas you have like scavs and other stuff in other games like that. They're a little bit just there. The robots are very much a part of your experience in the game, and PvP is sort of an afterthought to that. And some might say, well, I don't like that. And then I say, and Embark says, well, there's other games for that. So they've designed different things to have certain outcomes, and they're going to monitor how that goes as the game progresses. As far as matchmaking goes, a lot of people in these extraction shooters or in other PvP stuff, they're like, oh, I want a solo queue game mode. And when that's incorporated for a popular game, it doesn't really matter so much if it's really popular. Like, we're talking top of the top, you know, it's in the zeitgeist on Google and all that stuff, because you have a large enough player base to split matchmaking in such a way. Whereas games that are, maybe they're popular, but they're not as popular as what everyone's talking about, right? Maybe they've launched a big launch, but then 2 months later, their player base kind of dips low. When you have separate queues like that, it really affects your queue time. I know Delta Force, when you try to match in solo, that queue time is incredibly long for a lot of their maps. I don't know about Escape from Tarkov. I think Escape from Tarkov started off as solo queue, and you can matchmake either before you go in, or you can just, I guess, not kill people. I don't know how that works. Now they have voice comms in the game, so it works out a little bit better, I guess. But with this here, I play a lot of solo. Like, most of my games, I play solo. So I've only played not even 30 hours. So it's very light, very small compared to other people. But in those 28.9 hours, I didn't come across a lot of players that were on teams. I came across a lot of solo players. I didn't come across trios or duos. There's a lot of solo players. Now, they don't have a solo queue. They just have a system that tries to funnel everyone in a particular match according to their party size. So that doesn't always guarantee you're not going to match with a squad. There may be situations where you will match with other squads and you're solo or duo, and you've gone up against a lot of 3-man squads. What's really neat is with Arc Raiders, because of how the community is about teaming together and stuff like that, you really don't know if these solo players have come together to make a group, or if this is an actual group setting, a group team. So it's going to be interesting to see how well this is maintained. I kind of like it. I think in one of Aztecross videos, he said gamers like to gamble. And I kind of like that. I kind of like going into a match not knowing if I'm playing solo players or a squad of 3. And that's kind of fun. I really like that. As well as it helps mitigate that problem as the player base drops, as the hype drops from the game, and you start to get into your dedicated daily players. You know, the other players kind of wean off and go off to their favorite games. This sort of maintains a healthy queue time, whereas if you had a bunch of different solo queues, that your queue time would increase as the player base got lower. As well as Arc Raiders has multiple maps and a few maps that are like timed to where it's a day-night cycle. So you're going to have a split matchmaking time queue throughout the game just because it has multiple maps. So now you don't have to worry that, you know, you're playing against solos or duos or whatever. It's all kind of in there and going to try to match you when you need it to be. Now, as far as Gearscore goes, it's going to be interesting to see how this game works with that, because this game has a wipe system. Now, go ahead, check out my latest video, the announcement where they talk about how they're going to do wipes, because Arc Raiders will have wipes within their game, but they're voluntary. You don't have to wipe. So it'll depend on if players will be enticed enough to wipe their account. That way the people who don't wipe are sort of like not the players that want to go hardcore or get everything, which I don't know. Everyone keeps saying, you know, someone like me, you know, I'm a dad of 2. I've worked 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and I just want to come home and I just want to chill and play video games and relax, and I don't want to try hard. I don't really know anyone like that plays shooters. People like that, they play like Stardew Valley or like The Sims. And I don't know any dude that plays The Sims. So yeah, I don't know. I think everyone's is, as long as it's enticing enough and not painful enough, I think majority of the player base will probably try at least the first wipe. But there will be situations where you could get outgeared, and we will come back to thinking, oh man, I wish there was sort of a loot gear based matchmaking system, or maybe a skill based matchmaking system. In other games, they use the matchmaking system to sort of give you like a dopamine hit. So if you're struggling in a bunch of games, or they know that your pattern is, if you win a game, you then leave, they'll try to like get you close to winning, but not quite there. They'll try to match you with, you know, odds based on player skill that you're going to get close to winning, but not quite there. You know, get close to winning, but not quite there, and then finally get that win, because they know your habits of like, if you have a good game, you know, that's your one game of the night. Like, oh man, last game, I can't leave on a loss, right? We always say that, then we win and then we leave, or we lose and we keep going. So a lot of other games utilize the matchmaking system to keep people on the hook, and I don't really so much like that. I don't want to have to go in and get an easy match, sweat it out, be top of the leaderboard, and then the next match I'm just getting dunked on, you know, because it went from one extreme to the other. I like this system where it doesn't matter about the gear score, it doesn't matter about the system. All that matters is your queue time. Let's get you in there. If you want to play solo, all right, we'll try to match you with other solo players, and if that queue time is too long, then we'll go ahead and get you in with whoever. So I kind of like this system. Tell me in the comments below if you like this system where it's mostly based on your queue times and who's in your party. Are you solo? Are you a 3 squad? Are you duo? I like this system. So tell me, do you guys like this system? Comment below. And I just want to say thank you so much for everyone tuning in to my Arc Raider videos. It's been very motivational. I've been wanting to make more videos and give more information as time goes on. So I think the next video I'm going to make is about specifically the various arcs in Arc Raider and some information about that. And basically all next week, there will be multiple uploads of Arc Raider videos about various different bits of information. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, all that cool stuff. And I just want to say thank you so much. Keep on slaying out there.